Welcome to the African Savanna, a vast golden sea of grass and acacia trees alive with the rhythm of sun and rain. Here, every sound and movement tells a story. Join us as we journey into this wild, breathtaking landscape where elephants roam, eagles soar, and life pulses in every corner. The adventure begins now. Under the vast African sky, power is proclaimed. The lion's roar echoes across the savannah, a declaration of dominance. With a mane as shield and symbol, he rules as apex predator, resting, watching, and striking with explosive force. His roar unites the pride and warns all others. This land is claimed. Here the lion is king. The lion's true power lies in its pride, a family led by lionesses who hunt, nurture, and defend together. Males protect the territory, facing fierce battles to secure the pride's future. Cubs learn through play, but survival is never guaranteed. In unity, the pride thrives against the harsh savannah. The ground trembles, not with aggression, but with the gentle, rhythmic passing of a true titan. The African elephant, the largest land animal on Earth, moves through the savannah with a quiet dignity that belies its immense power. An adult bull can stand nearly 4 meters tall at the shoulder and weigh over 6 tons, a living mountain of muscle and bone. Yet, for all its colossal size, it is a creature of surprising grace and profound intelligence. Its presence is a cornerstone of this entire ecosystem, a force of nature that shapes the very landscape it walks upon. The elephant's most distinctive feature is, of course, its trunk. A marvel of biological engineering, it is a fusion of the nose and upper lip, containing over 40,000 individual muscles, but not a single bone. This gives it an extraordinary combination of strength and dexterity. It is powerful enough to uproot trees and defend against predators, yet sensitive enough to pick a single delicate berry or offer a gentle, reassuring touch to a calf. The trunk is used for breathing, smelling, drinking, and communicating. A versatile tool that is absolutely central to the elephant's existence in this challenging world. Their enormous ears are not just for hearing, which is itself exceptionally acute. They serve as a sophisticated, personal cooling system. The vast surface area is crisscrossed by a dense network of blood vessels. By flapping its ears, an elephant can radiate excess body heat into the air, a vital adaptation for surviving the intense heat of the African sun. This simple, elegant solution allows these giants to regulate their temperature and conserve precious water, enabling them to traverse vast, sun-scorched distances in their relentless search for food and water. An elephant's tusks, which are in fact massively elongated incisor teeth, are both a tool and a treasure, and tragically, a curse. They are used for digging for water or roots, for marking and debarking trees, and as formidable weapons in fights with rivals or in defense against predators. Each elephant is either right-tusked or left-tusked, much like human-handedness, with the favored tusk, known as the master tusk, often being shorter and more worn from use. The insatiable human demand for this ivory has, however, driven these magnificent creatures to the brink of extinction. Elephants are profoundly social, living in tight-knit herds led by a wise matriarch. Her memory guides them to water, food, and safety. Communication is constant, deep rumbles, trumpets, and gentle touches. Calves are raised by the whole family. Their emotional depth and intelligence demand our respect and protection. Across the sun-scorched savannah, a formidable presence moves, the Cape buffalo, known as the Black Death. These titans of Africa are powerful, unpredictable, and fiercely protective. Unlike most herbivores, they stand their ground, confronting threats head-on. United, the herd forms a near-impenetrable fortress, shielding their young. To witness them is to see the power of unity and survival in Africa's wild heart. A life for the Cape buffalo is a constant balance between grazing, socializing, and staying alert. At the waterhole, they rest and bond. But danger is always near. Lions and crocodiles lurk. Their vigilance and unity help them survive, making the buffalo not just survivors, but true warriors of the savannah. In the dappled light of the acacia canopy, a master of stealth remains unseen. This is the realm of the leopard, Africa's most elusive big cat. A solitary phantom, it haunts woodlands and rocky outcrops, blending perfectly into its world. With extraordinary strength, it hauls prey into trees, safe from lions and hyenas. Alone, silent and mesmerizing, the leopard is the ghost of the savannah, its presence revealed only by a swish of tail or a glint of knowing eyes. To hunt like a leopard is to embody stealth, moving low through tall grass, every muscle coiled, senses heightened. The leopard relies on surprise, striking with swift, silent power. It climbs trees with its kill, safe from rivals. Elusive and adaptable, the leopard is a true master of the shadows. From the mists of prehistoric time, a living relic roams the African bush, the black rhinoceros. With its thick, armor-like hide and two proud horns, the black rhino is a magnificent survivor, yet critically endangered. Every individual is precious, a fragile link to an ancient past and a symbol of hope for the future. The black rhino's story is a desperate fight for survival. Relentless poaching for their horns has pushed them to the edge of extinction. Conservation efforts are now their only lifeline, with rangers risking everything to protect them. The black rhino is a symbol of our planet's fragility. Its survival depends on our will to protect it. On the sunlit savannah, the cheetah reigns as nature's ultimate sprinter. Sculpted by evolution for speed, every muscle and bone is built for explosive acceleration. Its flexible spine and semi-retractable claws provide unmatched agility and traction. But this speed comes at a cost: fragility and vulnerability to larger predators. Its iconic tear marks help it hunt, shielding its eyes from the blinding sun. A cheetah's hunt is a spectacle of strategy and raw power. It begins with silence and stealth, stalking prey through tall grass. The explosive sprint is brief but breathtaking. Even after a successful hunt, the cheetah is vulnerable. Scavengers may steal its meal. For a mother, survival means teaching her cubs to hunt and avoid danger in this unforgiving world. The sound of the spotted hyena is iconic, its whoops and laughter echoing across the African night. But this animal is far more than a scavenger. A skilled hunter and apex predator, the hyena's strength and teamwork allow it to bring down large prey. Led by powerful females, their clans are matriarchal and highly social. With jaws that crush bone, hyenas thrive as both hunters and scavengers, true masters of the savannah. The spotted hyena's intelligence rivals that of primates. They solve problems, cooperate in hunts, and communicate with a complex language of calls and laughs. Raised in communal dens, hyena cubs learn social rules and hierarchy from birth. Their rivalry with lions has driven their evolution, making them one of Africa's most successful and cunning predators. The African wild dog, also known as the painted dog, is a stunning and efficient predator of the savannah. Each has a unique coat and their lives revolve around the pack. Cooperation and care are key, but these remarkable hunters are endangered, threatened by habitat loss and conflict with humans. Protecting them is a race against time. Sharing the savannah with larger predators, jackals are the ultimate survivors. Adaptable, cunning, and opportunistic. The black-backed jackal, with its silver-flecked saddle, thrives by eating anything from insects to fruit. Loyal pairs defend territory and raise pups together. Their family bonds key to survival. Masters of calculated risk, they snatch scraps from giants, always alert and resourceful. Their haunting calls at dusk echo the wild spirit of the savannah. On the vast, sun-drenched plains of the African savanna, the giraffe stands as a living skyscraper, uniquely adapted, towering above all. Its immense height grants a perspective no other land mammal can achieve, spotting danger and feasting where others cannot reach. This gentle giant strength lies in its unique presence, a true icon of the African wilderness, forever reaching for the sky. Giraffes' extraordinary height brings unique challenges. Drinking is risky, forcing them into awkward, vulnerable positions at waterholes. Their powerful hearts and intricate blood vessels prevent fainting as they raise and lower their heads. Even birth is dramatic. A calf drops 2 meters, then quickly stands, watched over by its towering mother. Across the grasslands, zebras' black and white stripes create a dazzling spectacle. Their unique patterns confuse biting flies and predators alike. Living in tight-knit families, zebras rely on social bonds for protection. When threatened, their moving stripes blur together, bewildering predators. In vast herds, zebras and wildebeests unite, amplifying their safety through numbers and cooperation. Sharing these arid grasslands is the gemsbok, a striking oryx built for survival. With its pale coat, bold black markings and magnificent horns, it thrives in the harshest deserts. The gemsbok survives with minimal water, enduring heat and using its horns to defend against predators. A true master of the drylands, an emblem of resilience and tenacity. In the rivers and waterholes that punctuate the savannah, a different kind of giant holds sway. An animal that appears deceptively placid, almost comical, as it rests submerged with only its eyes, ears, and nostrils breaking the surface. This is the hippopotamus, the river horse. But, this benign appearance actually masks one of the most aggressive and dangerous animals in all of Africa. Its life is one of dualities, spending its days in the cool, protective embrace of the water and its nights on land, undertaking a great pilgrimage to graze on the surrounding grasslands. Water is just essential to the hippopotamus. Its skin is highly sensitive to the sun and prone to dehydration, so it must remain submerged or coated in mud for most of the daylight hours. The water also provides buoyancy, giving relief to its short, stumpy legs, which must support a body that can weigh over 3 tons. Within these crowded pools, a complex social hierarchy is at play. A dominant bull or beach master will control a stretch of water and the group of females and young within it. His authority is absolute, proclaimed through immense, cavernous yawns that are not a sign of tiredness but a fearsome display of his formidable canine tusks. These tusks are the hippo's primary weapons. The lower canines and incisors are sharpened against each other every time the mouth closes, maintaining a razor-sharp edge. They're not used for feeding, but for combat. Fights between rival bulls are brutal, bloody affairs. with combatants inflicting deep, ghastly wounds upon one another. The sheer power of their jaws is immense, capable of biting a small boat or a crocodile clean in half. It is this combination of immense size, unpredictable aggression, and formidable weaponry that makes the hippo so incredibly dangerous. Despite their aquatic daytime lifestyle, hippos are surprisingly poor swimmers. They cannot float and instead move along the riverbed by walking or bouncing in a sort of slow-motion gallop. Pushing off the bottom, they can hold their breath for up to 5 minutes, closing their nostrils and ears to seal out the water as they move about their submerged kingdom. This semi-aquatic existence defines their world, a life lived on the boundary of two environments, making them the undisputed and often terrifying rulers of the savannah's waterways. As dusk settles over the savannah, hippos stir from the river, emerging under darkness to graze. They follow well-worn trails, consuming up to 40 kilograms of grass each night. Out of water, their surprising speed and unpredictable nature make them Africa's most dangerous large mammal. Each night they shape the land and nourish the river before dawn calls them home. The Serengeti Plains, a vast ocean of grass, pulse with ancient rhythms. Here, wildebeest gather in one of nature's greatest spectacles. Driven by instinct, they form a moving river of life, journeying for fresh grazing and water. The scale is breathtaking, millions united by a single purpose. Their epic trek is a life-or-death drama across the grand stage of the African Savanna. The migration is a story of immense hardship. For every mile gained, there is a price to be paid. The journey is fraught with danger, and honestly, the greatest of these are the river crossings. The Mara River, a formidable obstacle, stands between the herds and the lush pastures of the Masai Mara. Here, the collective instinct is put to its ultimate test. The animals mass at the water's edge, a chaotic frenzy of indecision and fear. The pressure builds from behind, a relentless wave of bodies pushing the front ranks ever closer to the precipice of the steep riverbanks. Panic can take hold in an instant. The first to leap is not a leader, but often a victim of the immense crush from behind. One plummets and then another, and suddenly the dam breaks. A torrent of wildebeest cascades into the water, a churning, desperate mass of flailing limbs and terrified bellows. The river becomes a maelstrom of chaos. Calves are separated from their mothers, their plaintive cries lost in the thunderous roar of the crossing. Many are simply trampled underfoot in the desperate stampede to reach the opposite bank, their journey ending in the very river that promised life. And the river holds its own ancient predators. The Nile crocodiles, some of the largest in Africa, have waited patiently for this annual bounty. They are masters of the ambush, lurking just beneath the murky surface. They strike with terrifying speed and power, their immense jaws closing on a struggling wildebeest, pulling it under in a vortex of foam and fury. For the crocodiles, this is a time of feasting that will sustain them for months. For the wildebeest, it is a horrifying lottery where the price of losing is absolute. Those that survive the crossing, clambering exhausted onto the far bank, are not yet safe. They are weakened, disoriented, and vulnerable. The great cat predators, lions, leopards, and cheetahs, have shadowed the migration for this very reason. They patrol the riverbanks, seeking out the weary, the injured, and the young who have lost their mothers in the chaos. The Great Migration is a fundamental process that sustains this entire ecosystem. It is a profound and brutal cycle of life and death, where the survival of the many is paid for by the sacrifice of the few. Where the great herds of wildebeest are a force of nature, other residents of the savannah rely on a more subtle strategy for survival. Meet the impala, an antelope of exquisite grace and startling athleticism. They're one of the most common and successful herbivores on the plains, a testament to their remarkable adaptability. Their slender, elegant frames are perfectly designed for a life that hangs in a delicate balance between grazing peacefully and exploding into a desperate flight for life. Their rich reddish-brown coats provide excellent camouflage amongst the acacia scrub and tall grasses they call home. The impala's primary defense is its incredible speed and agility. When a predator is sighted, the herd erupts in a display of acrobatic prowess. They can leap extraordinary distances, soaring up to 3 meters into the air and covering 10 meters in a single bound. These are not just panicked jumps, they are a calculated and confusing spectacle. The herd scatters in all directions, performing high, erratic leaps that make it incredibly difficult for a predator like a cheetah or leopard to focus on a single target. This explosive, unpredictable ballet is their life-saving art form. This behavior, known as stotting, serves multiple purposes. It is a clear and honest signal to the predator that the impala is fit, healthy, and will be difficult to catch. It also acts as an alarm, alerting the rest of the herd to the imminent danger while simultaneously confusing the attacker. They move with a fluid, almost weightless quality, their delicate hooves barely seeming to touch the ground as they bound away from danger. In this world of hunters and hunted, the impala has mastered the art of being a truly maddening target. Life in the herd is their greatest insurance policy. A multitude of eyes and ears are constantly scanning the horizon, listening for the snap of a twig or the faintest scent of a predator on the breeze. They are perpetually vigilant, their large dark eyes missing nothing. This collective awareness allows them moments of peace to graze and drink, but the underlying tension is ever present. For the impala, a moment of inattention can be the difference between life and a sudden, violent death. Their survival is a continuous, nerve-wracking performance. The social structure of the impala is complex and fluid, shifting with the seasons. During the breeding season, dominant males, known as rams, become fiercely territorial. They establish and defend specific areas, gathering a harem of females with whom they will mate. The air is filled with the guttural roars and snorts of these rams as they challenge rivals. They chase each other relentlessly, their lyre-shaped horns clashing in dramatic, though rarely fatal, contests of strength and stamina. The constant effort of defending his territory and harem takes a heavy toll on the dominant ram. These bachelor herds are an essential part of impala society. They consist of juvenile males and older rams who have been deposed from their territories. These all-male groups live on the peripheries of the breeding herds, constantly watching for any sign of weakness in a dominant ram. It is a life of waiting and testing, of biding their time until they are strong enough to challenge for a territory of their own. This dynamic system ensures that only the fittest and strongest males get to pass on their genes, a crucial element in the long-term success of the species. Beyond their own complex lives, impala are a vital link in the savannah's food web. As one of the most abundant antelope species, they form the primary food source for a vast array of predators. Lions, leopards, cheetahs, hyenas, and wild dogs all depend heavily on the impala. Their abundance sustains the carnivores that make this ecosystem so iconic. The presence of a healthy impala population is therefore a key indicator of the overall health of the entire savannah community, a testament to their importance in the grand scheme of things. Their success is a story of balance. They are numerous enough to withstand the constant pressure of predation, yet their grazing habits do not overwhelm the landscape. They are a species that thrives in the space between the woodland and the open plains, a perfect example of an animal beautifully adapted to its environment. The impala's life may be one of constant vigilance, but it is also a life of abundance and success, a graceful and essential thread in the rich tapestry of the African wilderness. Deep within the acacia thickets and dense woodlands where the sunlight dapples the dusty floor, lives one of Africa's most magnificent and secretive antelope, the greater kudu. This is not an animal of the open plains. It is a master of the shadows, a creature that prefers the sanctuary of dense cover. Its coat, a beautiful shade of greyish-brown, is marked with thin, vertical white stripes. This seemingly conspicuous pattern is, in fact, a remarkable form of camouflage, breaking up the animal's outline and allowing it to melt seamlessly into the tangle of branches and shifting light. They are often called the grey ghosts of the bush, and for good reason. Despite their large size, they can move with astonishing silence and stealth. A bull kudu, with his immense weight and colossal horns, can navigate the thickest bush without snapping a twig. When startled, they do not explode into a panicked run like the impala. Instead, they often freeze, relying on their camouflage to evade detection. If forced to flee, they bound away with surprising grace, their heads held back to allow their enormous horns to pass through the dense vegetation without snagging. The most breathtaking feature of the male kudu is without doubt his horns. They are a true marvel of natural architecture, growing in wide, dramatic spirals that can reach over a meter in length if straightened. These are not merely ornaments, they are a symbol of maturity and status and are used in ritualized sparring matches with other males. A bull will only reach his full, magnificent potential after 6 years. His horns are a living record of his age and vitality. They are a heavy crown to bear, but one that commands immense respect in the kudu world. The females or cows lack these spectacular horns and are smaller and lighter in color. They live in small, cohesive family groups with their calves, relying on the collective vigilance of the group for safety. The bulls are more solitary, often living alone or in small bachelor groups outside of the mating season. Their large, sensitive ears are like radar dishes, constantly swiveling to pick up the faintest sound of danger. This combination of superb hearing, cryptic coloration, and a preference for dense habitat makes the kudu a truly elusive and challenging animal to observe. Unlike the wildebeest or zebra, which are grazers that feed on the vast grasslands, the kudu is a browser. Its diet consists of the leaves, shoots, and sometimes fruits of a wide variety of trees and shrubs. This feeding strategy is what ties them to the woodlands and thicker bushveld. Their long neck allows them to reach foliage that is inaccessible to many other herbivores, giving them a competitive edge in their chosen habitat. They are selective feeders, carefully choosing the most nutritious parts of the plants available to them. This reliance on browsing makes them particularly sensitive to changes in their environment. Droughts that cause trees to shed their leaves can have a severe impact on kudu populations. They must roam over large territories in search of sufficient food and water, their movements dictated by the availability of their preferred plants. They are a delicate barometer of the health of the woodland ecosystems. Where you find a thriving population of kudu, you will find a healthy and diverse woodland, rich in the plant life they depend upon. During the mating season, the normally solitary bulls will seek out the female herds. They do not engage in the same kind of frenetic territorial defense as impala. Instead, a dominant bull will join a group of females and drive away any rivals. Fights between bulls can be spectacular, involving a ritual of displaying their size before locking their magnificent horns. On rare tragic occasions, their spiral horns can become permanently interlocked, resulting in a slow death for both combatants, a grim testament to the powerful drive to reproduce. The kudu's quiet, unobtrusive lifestyle and its preference for shadowy habitats mean it often goes unseen by casual observers. Yet its presence is a vital part of the woodland's character. They are a species that embodies a sense of wildness and mystery, a reminder that the savannah is not just open plains, but a complex mosaic of different habitats, each with its own unique and spectacular inhabitants. The fleeting glimpse of a bull kudu, his spiral horns held high as he vanishes into the thicket, is one of the most unforgettable sights Africa has to offer. Amidst the golden grasses of the savannah, the warthog stands out, robust, resilient and unmistakable. With its large head, coarse mane and formidable tusks, it's perfectly adapted for survival. These tusks defend against predators and help dig for roots, making the warthog a vital part of the African ecosystem. Survival on the open plains demands clever adaptations, and the warthog has mastered many. From reversing into burrows to face predators with its tusks to thriving on a varied diet, warthogs are built for resilience. Their love of mud baths protects them from the sun and insects, a living link to Africa's wild rhythms and ancient past. The savannah is a land of giants, but not all are mammals. Striding across the plains is the ostrich, the world's largest bird, taller than a man, built for speed, not flight. Its long legs and huge eyes give it an edge in spotting danger. Ostriches gather in groups, often with zebras and wildebeest, forming a living security network. When threatened, they don't hide. They run, reaching speeds over 45 miles per hour. The ostrich's life is one of constant movement and vigilance. Its powerful legs defend against predators, and its kick can even deter a lion. Fiercely protective, ostriches raise their young together, sharing duties and guarding against danger. For those that survive, adulthood brings a long life striding across the African plains. The secretary bird strides through the African grasslands, a regal hunter on foot. With long legs and a striking feather crest, it hunts snakes and other prey, using powerful kicks to subdue its quarry. Monogamous pairs build huge nests high in acacia trees, returning year after year, a true icon of the savannah. The secretary bird's entire anatomy is a masterclass in adaptation for a terrestrial lifestyle. Its feet are not equipped with the sharp, curved talons of a typical raptor, which are designed for grasping. Instead, its toes are short, thick and blunt, better suited for walking, and for delivering the powerful, bone-shattering stomps that define its hunting style. This specialization makes it less adept at seizing prey in flight, but an unmatched predator on the ground. It is a niche that it fills with ruthless efficiency, a feathered warrior patrolling the grasslands from dawn until dusk. The chicks, usually 1 to 3 in a clutch, are born covered in a thick coat of downy feathers. They are entirely dependent on their parents, who work tirelessly to feed them. The adults will hunt and then regurgitate food, a mixture of partially digested insects and small vertebrates, directly into the gaping mouths of their young. This period is one of great vulnerability. Despite the high, thorny location of the nest, predators like eagles or even ground-based hunters that can climb pose a constant threat. The parents must be ever vigilant, defending their precious offspring with fierce determination. As the young birds grow, they begin to practice their hunting skills within the confines of the nest, stomping on twigs and any food items their parents bring. It is an innate behavior, hardwired into their DNA. After about 2 to 3 months, they are ready to fledge, but their education is far from over. They will stay with their parents for an extended period, following them on their long walks across the savannah, learning the intricate art of the hunt and mastering the skills needed to survive independently in this competitive and challenging environment. The presence of secretary birds is often seen as a good indicator of a healthy savannah ecosystem. Their reliance on a wide variety of small prey means they can only thrive where there is a robust and diverse food web. However, like many of Africa's iconic species, they face growing threats from habitat loss as grasslands are converted to agriculture and from human disturbance. Protecting these magnificent terrestrial raptors means protecting the vast open spaces they call home, ensuring that their unique, long-legged silhouette continues to grace the African plains for generations to come. Where land meets water, the Nile crocodile reigns, an ancient predator sculpted by time and riverbed. Perfectly adapted, it waits in stillness, eyes and nostrils just above the surface, calculating every move. The sun drives life to the river, but here the crocodile is a silent sentinel, master of ambush and patience. Its jaws, the most powerful in the animal kingdom, enforce the law of survival at the water's edge. Here the Nile crocodile is king, nature's ultimate aquatic enforcer. A thirsty wildebeest herd approaches the river, tension thick in the air. Suddenly, a crocodile erupts from the water, an explosion of power and instinct. The struggle is brutal and swift. The crocodile's infamous death roll seals the wildebeest's fate. Others join the feast, tearing the meal apart. In the end, the river's ancient ruler claims its tribute. High above the plains, circling on thermal updrafts with an effortless grace, are the sky's undertakers, the vultures. From this incredible vantage point, their eyesight, many times more powerful than our own, scans the vast landscape below. They are nature's essential surveillance system, constantly searching for the telltale signs of death. A predator's kill, an animal succumbing to illness, or the aftermath of a stampede, nothing escapes their keen gaze. They are the first responders of the savannah, a vital component in a complex and often brutal ecosystem, playing a role that is as crucial as it is misunderstood. This aerial patrol is a continuous, silent watch. Different species of vulture often fly at different altitudes, creating a layered network of observation that covers an immense territory. The higher-flying griffon vultures, with their broad wingspans, are masters of soaring, using their superior vision to spot a carcass from miles away. Once one individual begins its descent, it acts as a signal. Like a chain reaction across the sky, others see its purposeful dive and follow suit. From seemingly empty air, a gathering of dozens, sometimes hundreds of birds can converge on a single location within minutes. This ability to locate a meal so quickly is paramount to their survival and to the health of the savannah itself. In the intense African heat, a carcass can become a breeding ground for disease within hours. Anthrax, botulism, and rabies could run rampant without this rapid response cleanup crew. The vultures are the sanitarians of the wild, their digestive systems uniquely equipped with incredibly powerful acids that neutralize pathogens that would be lethal to almost any other creature. They are the unsung heroes, performing a thankless but absolutely essential service that maintains the delicate balance of this environment. And so they glide patient and ever watchful. They are not harbingers of death, but rather its consequence, its final chapter. They are a testament to nature's profound efficiency, where nothing is ever wasted. Every life, even in its end, provides sustenance for another. The sight of a vulture spiraling downwards is not a grim omen, but a sign that the great cycle of life is continuing, that the energy of one being is about to be transferred back into the ecosystem thanks to these magnificent and vital masters of the sky. The descent is swift and purposeful. As the vultures arrive at the carcass, a complex social order immediately becomes apparent. This is not a chaotic free-for-all, but a structured and often aggressive hierarchy. The first to land are typically the largest and most powerful species, like the formidable lappet-faced vulture. With its massive, powerful beak, it is one of the few birds capable of tearing through the tough hide of a large animal. It acts as the can opener, creating access for the other, less equipped species that wait impatiently on the periphery. Once the carcass is opened, the scene erupts into a frenzy of activity. The smaller, more numerous white-backed vultures surge forward, their long, bare necks perfectly adapted for reaching deep inside the body cavity to pull out the soft tissues and viscera. There is a constant jostling for position, a cacophony of hisses and squawks as they compete for the best morsels. This frantic feasting is a race against time, not only against other vultures, but also against ground-level scavengers like hyenas and jackals, who are never far away when the scent of a kill is on the wind. Amidst the chaos, other specialists find their niche. The slender, hooded vulture, smaller and less aggressive, darts in and out of the fray, snatching up smaller scraps dropped by the larger birds. It cleans up the leftovers, ensuring that even the smallest fragments are not wasted. Then there is the Egyptian vulture, a remarkably intelligent bird known to use tools. It will pick up stones and drop them onto ostrich eggs to crack them open, a behavior that showcases incredible problem-solving skills. Each species has its role, its own technique for claiming its share of the bounty. In an astonishingly short period of time, the carcass is stripped bare. What was once a magnificent beast is reduced to little more than bones and scattered hide. The vultures, their crops bulging, retreat to nearby trees to rest and digest their vital meal. They have performed their duty with remarkable efficiency, recycling nutrients back into the earth and preventing the spread of disease. The savannah is cleaner, safer, because of their work. They may not be celebrated for their beauty, but their importance to this ecosystem is absolute and undeniable. The marabou stork, often called the Undertaker bird, stands among vultures, draped in dark wings with a bare head and a massive bill. Both scavenger and hunter, it thrives at the edge of life and death, equally at home, snatching frogs or feeding at a carcass. A survivor, the marabou is nature's pragmatist, designed for supreme functionality, not beauty. The marabou stork, for all its solitary and imposing appearance while foraging, is a highly social and colonial breeder. During the dry season, when food is most concentrated around shrinking water sources, hundreds, sometimes thousands of these giant birds will gather to form vast, noisy nesting colonies. They choose tall trees, often near human settlements or large wetlands, creating a bustling, chaotic city of storks. The air is filled with the strange, guttural croaks and bill-clattering sounds that constitute their primary form of communication, a stark contrast to their usual silence. Building a nest is a collaborative effort. The male selects a site and begins to gather sticks, presenting them to the female in a courtship ritual. Together they construct a large, flat platform of sticks, a seemingly precarious cradle for their future offspring. These colonies are active for months, a constant hub of activity, as pairs reinforce their bonds, defend their small territory from neighbors, and prepare for the demanding task of raising a family. The sight of so many of these huge, prehistoric-looking birds gathered in one place is one of the great spectacles of the African bush. 2 to 3 chalky white eggs are laid, and both parents share the duties of incubation and, later, feeding. Raising a young marabou is an arduous task. The chicks are demanding, requiring a constant supply of food. The parents become relentless hunters and scavengers, flying miles each day to bring back fish, amphibians, and scraps of meat, which they regurgitate for their hungry offspring. It is a period of intense work, ensuring the survival of the next generation of these essential, if unconventional, members of the savannah ecosystem. As the chicks grow, the colony becomes even more raucous. They test their wings, jostle with their siblings and await the return of their parents with ever-increasing impatience. Eventually, they will fledge, leaving the relative safety of the colony to begin their own lives as opportunistic survivors on the plains. These breeding colonies are a vital, life-affirming counterpoint to the stork's funereal image, a demonstration that even for the undertaker bird, the ultimate purpose is the creation and continuation of new life. Across the sun-scorched plains of the African savanna, a creature of legendary tenacity forges its path. This is the honey badger, small, fearless, and relentless. Its black and white coat is a warning, its skin nearly impervious and its courage unmatched. The honey badger faces lions, snakes, and swarming bees with the same indomitable will. In the wild, attitude can be just as crucial as size, and the honey badger proves it. In the savanna's strict hierarchy, the honey badger stands apart. It ignores its own limitations, boldly confronting predators many times its size. Its ferocity and intelligence make it a force to be reckoned with. The honey badger is the undisputed pound-for-pound champion of the savanna. High above the African savanna, the tawny eagle soars, master of the open skies. With vision 8 times sharper than ours, it spots prey from afar, hunting with patience and precision. Its silhouette against the sky is a symbol of wild freedom, a true sovereign of the air. The tawny eagle is a master of the African skies, hunting with precision and adapting to every challenge. Its powerful talons and sharp beak make it both predator and scavenger. Fierce in competition, it defends its territory with dramatic aerial displays. The tawny eagle is a true sovereign of the savanna, a symbol of Africa's wild spirit. In the sun-scorched plains of southern Africa, meerkats thrive through cooperation and vigilance. Each meerkat has a role, but none more vital than the sentinel. Perched high, the sentinel scans for danger, eyes sharp against the glare. A single call warns of predators, eagle or jackal, sending the mob to safety. While the sentinel stands guard, others forage, and pups learn, all under its watchful eye. The meerkat's world is split between the dangerous world above and the safe, dark sanctuary below. Their complex burrow systems offer protection from predators and harsh temperatures. Deep underground, the mob finds security and social structure led by an alpha pair. Grooming and close contact reinforce bonds, uniting the clan for survival in the savanna. As darkness falls on the African savanna, a secretive creature emerges, the aardvark, or earth pig. With its pig-like snout, powerful claws and keen senses, it digs for ants and termites, shaping the land as it goes. Its abandoned burrows become vital shelters for many animals, making the aardvark a true ecosystem engineer of the night. Under the star-filled African sky, the aardvark begins its nightly hunt. With powerful claws and a long sticky tongue, it feasts on ants and termites, digging swiftly to evade predators. As dawn breaks, it returns to its burrow, leaving only fresh earth and breached mounds, an elusive architect of the savanna night. The African savanna is a world of breathtaking scale, where every sunrise brings new drama and challenge. Here, predators and prey are locked in an endless cycle, each shaping the other. This wild, beautiful land inspires awe and reminds us of the delicate balance of life. Thank you for joining us.